Hey babes, I hope you're doing well. This week we are doing a little Q&A, a little catch up. I feel like we need to chat, debrief everything. If you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, I would be so super grateful. It really helps me out and I really want to grow this little channel. So if you love all things beauty, girly things, vlogs, a little bit of fashion here and there, definitely hit the subscribe button. Grab yourself a little drink. I've just noticed I've got a black hairband on, that's so annoying. And let's get into it. So I've asked for some questions, so we're going to do a little Q&A. So first one to start off with, what's your daily routine been like recently? I feel like on social media I don't really post about my daily life because it's so varied, but if you didn't already know, I work part-time in retail and then the other part-time I do social media. So it's kind of like doing a full-time job and then like a part-time job as well on the side. So my part-time job in retail covers like my bills and everything like that. It's also just nice to get out of the house and socialise with other people, like see, you know, the public. I also really like being on my feet, so it just suits me well. And then I just love doing all things social media. I just love creating content. I did actually work in marketing full-time and then I left that to try and just like make a little mini leap. So essentially I work in retail 3 days a week and then the other days I do my own social media. So I also do UGC, so I manage 2 profiles on both TikTok and Instagram, one for like my personal account kind of thing and then another one for UGC. Currently still building that. All of my links are in the description, by the way, little self plug. But yeah, it's very busy. It probably doesn't sound it, but I always have something to do. I really like varied work. I have tried being like an office girly and I'm just not. I just really like seeing different people, different places, having different tasks to do like every day. So honestly no day is the same. I do try to add in kind of like things that do ground me. So I like to move as much as I can. So I like to do classes, gym, swim, things like that in the morning. I always have like a set lunch time and a set tea time, generally speaking. So that really helps as well. And then on a Sunday, I like to do a big reset. So plan my meals for the week, food shop, bit of cleaning, although to be honest I have been lacking on that recently. Need to have a deep clean. But yeah, that's kind of what my daily routine is looking like. Different every day, but I'm very grateful. Someone said, any fun summer plans coming up? Honestly, no. Kind of like in my grind era, I suppose. We did have a holiday booked, but I'm going to go more into that in a bit. But yeah, just kind of enjoying life. Like I just want to make sure I'm focusing on myself. I feel like I've not got that many years of my 20s left, so I just really want to make the most of this time that I have, like spending it with family and friends and everything. I mean, you would have seen in one of my recent vlogs I went to Tate McRae like last minute, so just kind of living like that, like living in the moment, doing what I want to do and like really listening to what I want to do and almost being a bit selfish before I like do whatever, have kids, pets, whatever. By the way, if you've been on holiday or you're going on holiday this summer, please let me know in the comments where. I would love to know. I'll be very jealous. What are you watching / listening to / obsessed with right now? Watching, this is literally so random, but if you like a crime British drama, me and my mum both do. We watched Unforgotten. I just watched it on ITVX. There's 6 series and it's just like a classic British kind of like police series. So I've just finished that. That was really good. Before that I was watching Friends and Benidorm. Now I'm kind of at a loose end. Oh, I also watched Suits and Gossip Girl. So I've done like all of the classics or like rewatched them. So now I'm kind of, yeah, at a loose end. So if anyone has any good recommendations of what to watch, then let me know. Not that I really have time to watch much, to be honest. Listening to, always Tate McRae, always. Apart from that, if I'm listening to something, I'll be listening to the Girls Bathroom podcast. So I won't really be like listening to music apart from Tate McRae. It's like the odd song, you know, nothing to rave about. So yeah, that's what I'm listening to. Fave beauty product right now. That is so hard because there's so many things under that umbrella. One thing that springs to mind straight away though is this. Wait, let me get it. Okay, I've just had to like judge my memory card, so not quite sure what's happening there, but hopefully we're filming this. Okay, next topic. Someone said, how are you really doing? So I'm in my single girl era now. I'm gonna try not to cry. Me and Corey have decided to go our separate ways and it's been a lot, like the past couple of weeks or so, but I'm doing okay. I feel like there's a lot to do, because if you didn't know, me and him own a house together. We also owned a car, so it feels like very adult and very grown up, because it's not like a teenage breakup. You know, all of my breakups before were like almost block and gone in a way, and this is a lot different to that. Obviously we're still living together, so that's like another challenge. I think, yeah, this is my first experience of like an actual adult breakup where you do have things that are like joint. There's like mortgages, cars, multiple solicitors involved, conveyancing, family lawyers. Like, I honestly wake up most days and think, it's just so much. I have no idea what's going on, like how to navigate it. Everything is so new. But yeah, everything's a learning curve, and I have so much love for Corey, and I think I'm right in saying, I don't want to speak for him, but he feels the same, and we're very amicable. Like, we're still speaking, like we're all good, there's no bad blood, but it's just a lot. So I guess I feel kind of like heavy right now, and yeah, scared, very scared, and I think a bit like alone in some ways, because I live in Nottingham and I didn't grow up here. My family aren't here, my friends aren't here, so I guess like take that away and it can be fairly lonely. I'm not a person who has loads of friends anyway, and my family isn't that big, so yeah, I think added together it can be a lonely place. But I'm just kind of waking up, trying my best every day. Like, I try to get something done every day, whether that's like my social media, obviously going to work in my retail job, sorting out like the house, the car. I've obviously got to pack all of this up. This is no longer gonna be my beauty room. The other thing is there's like no date in when I'll move out, so that's kind of tricky. I'm like, when do I pack all of this up? I'm like trying to go through bits and bobs and kind of clear things out, I suppose, ready for packing up. If you want to see all of that, then go over to my TikTok, by the way, specifically in regards to this beauty room. I did have a beauty room series, and then like this happened, so I'm like still doing the series, but now it's kind of turned into like a breakup thing. You can't predict life, can you? So there's a lot. It's weird, isn't it? Because to everyone else, like, no one else is probably going to care in a way, but then to me it feels like my whole world is like imploding, because my whole world as I know it is going to change. I'm not going to have the same job, I'm not going to work in the same place, in the retail place, I'm not going to have the same car, I'm not going to have the same house. Like, literally everything is changing, and I guess that's just really scary. But I think positive things are going to come. I'm looking up and forwards. Yeah, all of this is going to change, so you know, some of you might wonder why. And to be honest, it's really difficult to pretend everything's okay when sometimes it's not. Like, I've had some rough days, you know. Another one which kind of follows on from this is, what are your goals for the rest of the year? So like I said, life is going to look very, very different for me. I kind of just want to use this time to like really push myself, really get out there and do new things and new challenges, experience new things. One thing I do really want to do is get my Reformer Pilates qualification. So if you didn't know, I'm actually a Pilates teacher, but a mat work Pilates teacher. I have my level 3 Pilates with Active IQ, and although I haven't been teaching recently, I was, and then I stopped when I moved here, so I want to pick that up again. And I think, why not go into Reformer? Like, that's so popular right now. I love taking a Reformer class, so why not get that skill and teach it to other people, because I'm already like halfway there. So I really want to do that. I have looked into courses, so I hope that happens. Another goal for me, probably to get a new car, because me and my boyfriend sold our joint car. We treated ourselves, we got a Mercedes when we were together, and it was just such a nice, like, yeah, treat for ourselves. We wanted to have a little bit of fun with life whilst we didn't have pets, didn't have kids. So we have sold that car, which now means I'm back to my first car, because we always kept that as just like a little run around anyway, just if we wanted to go to the shop and we didn't want the other car to get like dinked and stuff. So we did actually always keep that car. It's a little Hyundai, my first little car, and I'm not gonna lie, she's worse for wear. Like, honestly, you should hear the sounds it makes. And because my family live in Norfolk, I'm obviously going to be traveling there a little bit. I'm going to be traveling across the country. I also don't know where I want to live. I don't want to live in Norfolk. I don't want to live where I grew up. Each to their own, but like that's just not for me right now. So I don't want to live in Norfolk. I obviously don't want to live in Nottinghamshire because I'm currently here. I've done that. So I'm going to be living somewhere else. I'm going to be traveling, and I feel like I need a new car to be able to do that. It's really on its last legs. And not that this matters, but there's like no aircon, there's no radio, I can't listen to music. She just makes the funkiest of noises. So yeah, I am due a new car. So I would love to get a new car. That would definitely be a goal. And I need to move somewhere. So they're the goals. Okay, this is a short fun one. Someone said, what's your coffee order? So to be honest, I wish I loved matcha. I've tried a few. I've tried Blank Street, didn't like it. I can't even remember the others, but I have tried it and I just didn't like it. People say you need to put syrup in, but to me that just tasted like sweet grass. I don't know. I wish I liked it. I do want to try like a raspberry white chocolate matcha though, because that sounds quite like overpowering to the matcha. I feel like that could be nice. But yeah, not for me. So my go-to order is a decaf oat milk iced latte. No syrups, no nothing. I just quite like the actual taste of coffee, so I don't want to add loads of sweetness to it. I'm also lactose free, so we have to do oat milk and iced because it's summer. Okay, this is going to be the last one. So how do you stay motivated? This is a really good one because motivation is such a big thing when it comes to goals and progress and everything. I personally think you can't rely on motivation. To me, motivation is almost like irrelevant. I get up, I do it, whether I feel like it or not. And for me, that's kind of the key to success and like actually achieving goals, especially long term, and especially if they're big goals that you want to achieve. Motivation is kind of like beside the point. You know what I mean? I often apply that logic to my social media. Like there's so many times I'll wake up at 5 in the morning and have to film something like before work or edit videos before work. Do you think I want to get up at 5 AM? No. Do you think I want to lay in till 7? Yes. But I think the longer I lay in and have more lay-ins and, you know, like take it easy on myself, the longer I'm gonna have to get up at 5, and the longer I'm gonna have to work in retail, and the longer I'm gonna have to do things I don't want to do. Although I do actually generally love social media and I generally like editing, like filming. I much prefer filming over editing, but yeah, I do love it anyway. You know, sometimes when you're like sat here with these bright lights on at 5 AM filming, you're like, whoa. So yeah, I think finding your why can be really helpful, but I think planning in advance, no matter what your goal is, whether that be like meal prepping, making sure you're getting the right foods on a Sunday for the week ahead, whether that be like prepping a month of content, whether that be booking classes in advance so that you show up and do your fitness and don't just rely on what you want to do that day and then you actually end up doing a rubbish workout. I think planning in advance is definitely key, and don't rely on motivation. So I hope you enjoyed this little catch up. I know I did. It's been good to update everyone and like get things off my chest and just have a little life update. I am looking forward to this next era and seeing where life takes me, but yeah, it is sad to be at the end of this era for sure. But I'm sending you so much love. I hope you are all good, and definitely let me know if you're off to anywhere on holiday this summer. I would love to know. Please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and next week we're gonna do a little bit of like a reset. We're gonna have a vlog, some fun things planned, so yeah, definitely subscribe so you don't miss it, and I'll see you next week on Wednesday. Bye babes.